just gonna jump into this because this is crazy. A few things. Oh god. Few things. Um, they play the Battle of the Heroes theme at the very beginning, right? Anakin versus like Obi-Wan from Episode 3. The way they slowed it down, my heart, dude. Um, and then also, you know how they like show the person's legs and they're like hanging, that they were hung.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they were like hung. I think they are being held up in the air with the force choke by Riva.
Oh, there you go. Okay, okay.
I think that's what's happening. And
Mm-hmm.
dude, this show looks crazy. Can I jump into a theory I heard? Let's jump in.
Sure.
I'm just
Why
jumping.
not?
I want to jump into a theory I heard. That the Inquisitors are on Tatooine hunting a different Jedi,
So
not
not
Obi-Wan.
not Luke, not Luke or Obi-Wan.
Correct. Because there are other
Because
Jedi
there's
around, and that's what their whole purpose
right.
was they were Jedi hunters. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Welcome into the Carbonite Crew Show. Episode 4, show number 4. I don't know. I'm not keeping track. It is
Yeah, who
Thursday,
knows?
March 17th. Today. Hello. Or maybe it was. It's St. Patty's Day, technically. Yeah, it's St.
Yeah,
Patty's
I
Day.
hope you're
Happy
wearing
St.
green.
Patrick's Day. I am actually. I can't show you. I am. That's happening.
Classic.
That's happening.
Classic.
And on my socks. I could show you that, but I'm not going to pull an Aaron Rodgers right now. I am not on his level.
That's
Am
funny.
I? When I say I'm not on his level, I mean I'm much higher than him.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yep. That's
Yep,
exactly right.
that's exactly not financially or like, like status wise, I guess. Just as a person playing for.
Yeah, I'd take his salary.
I would take his. I would take like a quarter of his salary. I would do. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not greedy or anything. I'll take
Oh
a
my
quarter of it.
god, dude! I need. Okay, here's the thing. This show is hosted by two people. Myself, I am Tyler. That other person over there is Steven. How are you guys doing? We are the hosts of the Carbonite Crew Show, where we talk pop culture all across the board. May be it. I just want to say Steven is not fulfilling his end of the duties because he clearly can see that Obi-Wan is not visible to him. He hasn't said anything to me, so I apologize. There's Obi-Wan Kenobi, everybody, right there. Now you can see him. Right? No, right here. Mine, not yours. Mine. What do you have? What is that? I can't see. What is that? My screen's blurry. This program. I see Star. Is that Obi-Wan?
I have old Ben.
Dude, I got young Ben.
Yeah, I got old Ben.
Dude, I got Benjamin Kenobi and you got Ben Kenobi. This
Yep.
is so
I
cool.
got this at a garage sale a long time ago.
It is way different than where I got mine. I got mine at Star Wars Celebration.
That is
This
very
is
different.
far. This is actually Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Duel. Um, just so side note. Star Wars Celebration tickets did go on sale, and
Yes,
they
they
went
did.
back
Yes,
on
they did.
sale. I will be attending all 4 days of celebration, so we are going to be covering that whole show, the whole event, down or over, up, wherever you're at, in Anaheim, California, May 26th through the 29th, which is freaking awesome because it's the week of the Kenobi release.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the
Mm-hmm.
weekend of my birthday. I mean, so I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be a really, hopefully, good weekend or good week. And
He's hitting the big 4-0.
I'm hitting. Oh, I can't wait to
Yeah,
confuse
yeah,
everybody.
old,
They're like, "How
you
old is
old
he?"
fart. I'm like,
I
he
know
doesn't
it's how
look
it feels.
40. He looks
I
really good for 40.
I do, unless you see the back of my head, then you'd be like, "Oh, he's 40."
There's a
But
reason he
no.
wears the hat, guys.
Oh man. The things we reveal on the show publicly. It's fine. It's fine. No, but we'll be covering all 4 days of celebration there. It's gonna be a blast. I hope to meet some of you guys or talk to you guys. I think it's gonna be less. They'll be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Attack of the Clones, which some hail as the worst Star Wars movie. Maybe, I don't know. Last
It
Jedi
used
did
to
come
be.
out. He used to be. The Last Jedi was released, and um, yeah, that happened. There was people, dude. There were people that camped out the night before because the trailer got released at a celebration for the Last Jedi.
Hmm.
I believe in Orlando, maybe in Anaheim. On one of them, I think it was Orlando,
Oh,
and
does it change locations?
it does. Like it was in Chicago the last time around, back in
Oh,
2019.
that's right.
They've done Europe ones. They've done Chicago. Actually, the first ever one was actually in Indianapolis in 1999.
Oh, there we go.
I think. No, it was in Denver. Sorry, Star
They
Wars
should
people.
do
It was in
one. They should
Denver.
do one in Indianapolis.
They should. They should use like the convention center. It'd be so cool. I love that convention
Indy's
center
such a
down there.
great spot for stuff like that, though. But
Indy was the third one, I think, because episode 3 was coming out. I think.
gotcha.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm too young to remember that. But nonetheless, there are people that stayed up all
Not
night,
that
like
young. You're
because
40.
the way celebration works now is there's lotteries, right? So your name is in like a pool because you bought tickets. So everyone's name is on the pool, and
Hmm.
you get
Hmm.
entered, and they pull names, and you get emails like a few days before, like the week of, saying whether or not you won the lottery. So that includes like panels, lines for like stores. Like that's how I got this. Was I won the lottery for the Hasbro? Hasbro store. I don't even know who made that. But
Hmm.
panels, all that sorts of stuff, which is how I got into the episode 9 panel a few years ago, which was one of my favorite Star Wars memories in my life. It was so cool. Um, but before that, you had to wait in line overnight. You had to camp out.
Mm,
So that meant you were still paying for a hotel room somewhere, but you're going to stay at the convention center overnight,
brutal.
uncomfortably on the cement floor, just to get
Uh
into these
huh.
panels. And that one was cool from what I've heard. Like Ryan Johnson, like went in there in the night and like met everybody and took pictures, and it sounded really cool. But
Uh huh.
looking back on that, I can't imagine doing all of that, getting to see the trailer for the Last Jedi, and then having the Last Jedi be what it is now. That's all I was. That's the only.
That would
I
be so
can't.
disappointing. You're totally right. Wow. Wow.
Like episode 9, it's I understand it's not the best movie, and I recognize that, but I will say, like, being there for that trailer reveal and being kind of, I guess, one of the first people in the world that saw the title reveal, other than like people that
Yeah.
worked on the film, because it was streamed everywhere. But I guess the way I view it is I assume there was some sort of delay, or even if there wasn't, like it
Yeah.
was there, like
Yeah.
it
That's
couldn't get
so.
any more
It's
live.
awesome.
And I have a video, and maybe I'll release that one day. But I'll if anyone who's seen the trailer reveal for episode 9 from the Star Wars Celebration, is they show the trailer, they reveal the title, The Rise of Skywalker, and then Ian McDermott comes out and says, "Roll it again." And they play it again, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Ian McDermott is here. It's crazy. He plays the Emperor." And I have a video reaction of me. We recorded the whole thing, and Ian McDermott comes out, and I have Jonathan next to me, and I turn to him and I go, "Oh my god, it's Mark Hamill! Oh my god, it's Mark Hamill!"
That's amazing.
So
It's
there's a
Mark
reason I've never
Hamill.
released that, but now that I've told that story, maybe I will.
Like, oops, big oops.
Yeah, I was like, "Gosh, I'm
That
an
was
idiot,"
the
but
trailer
no,
where
it
the
was so
emperor
special.
laughs at the end, right? That was the. Is that
Yes,
right?
that no one knew he was going to be in it. Yes.
Yeah.
So the fact we literally got the reveal of the Emperor in this movie and Ian McDermott within like 20 seconds. It was nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, to me, it was like a minute and a half because I didn't realize it wasn't Mark Hamill. So, but that was still nuts. Oh
Oh
man, but
man.
it's okay. Nonetheless, Star Wars Celebration is amazing. If you have the opportunity to go, please go. Um, I just talked to someone recently, and they weren't sure if they should because they had never been, and I said, if you can afford it, or if you have the ability to go, go. You won't regret it. It's an amazing experience. So, um, yes, go if you can, and if not, I'll be there, and you can live that way if you want. I'll do the best I can to show everybody what's going on. I'm trying to convince Steven to go, but apparently that's a no go. Um, plans. I guess I don't know. Sounds made up to me, but whatever. We'll see. We'll see.
Uh,
It's been a few weeks since we've had a show. Kenobi
hmm
trailer has dropped. We are called the Carbonite Crew Podcast. We started, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. This is the Carbonite Crew show, previously known as the Carbonite Crew Podcast.
Yep.
That was all centered around Star Wars. Kind of have more of a
It
pop
was.
culture feel right now. But the Kenobi trailer dropped, and I can't think of talking about anything else right now, quite frankly. I am 27 years old, not 40. I think I actually don't know how old I am. You are
That's correct.
26 years old.
I'm 27 right now
Yep, that's what I said.
for a
20.
little
Oh,
bit,
right. We're
for
in that. We're in
another
that
11
3 month
months or
period.
so. Yep.
We are in that 3 month period. We're the same age. Um, this is everything that I grew up with. What I just saw.
Yep.
Um,
It's awesome.
it's got elements of things that I've come to love in the last few years, such as the Inquisitors from Rebels. Um, New characters. It's got
hmm
everything.
hmm
The logo is very reminiscent of the prequels logos. Dude, there's just so much in this trailer. It gets me feeling. I told you, I think after I watched it, that my goosebumps had goosebumps, which you said
Right.
was
Right.
not possible, but I begged to differ after the trailer.
I just don't know how physically possible that is, but I'll let it slide
It happened.
this time. Maybe let's get the conversation flowing here. What's your favorite moment from the trailer?
So my by far, actually think I may have actually posted this on our Instagram. But my favorite moment by far in the trailer is little Luke Skywalker with his goggles on, pretending he's a pilot.
Uh huh.
I every time I watch it, it gets me. We're finally gonna see a young Luke. Grant Feely will be playing young Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Mark Hamill, Mark Hamill, Mark Hamill recently tweeted a picture of him, and he said Grant Feely looks like a perfect Luke Skywalker, and I am wishing him all the very best. Hashtag the Force is with Feely. Mark Hamill's the best ever on social media and in person,
Yeah,
and
he's
this
awesome.
tweet is so superior. I saw his tweet though, and I realized there has never been another Luke Skywalker other than Mark Hamill. Am I wrong?
Do you count the guy that like kind of plays him in the Mando? That they like digitally
No,
change
because it's
him?
still Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
It's still Mark Hamill, right? Because he's still. I mean, they still use his voice. He's credited in those. It says Mark Hamill at the end.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I do see what you mean. I guess you have to credit those people in some sort of way, those two gentlemen. But like, this is the first like on-screen different Luke Skywalker we're gonna actually see,
Yeah.
and I don't know how old this young man is. He does have a Twitter. You can go follow him on Twitter.
He looks like he's
Um,
like less than 10 from what I saw, but
he does. He looks very very young. It says 10 years old, I believe.
10. Okay, that makes sense. I believe that.
10 when he did this role. So they shot this probably a year ago. So he's probably 11 now. He looks younger than 10 though. I will say
Yeah.
that. So he'll be like Tom Holland up there. He'll be able to play Spider-Man when he's like 30 and then called a high schooler. But yeah, that was probably my favorite moment of the trailer. Just brought back all the feels. There was a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
Anakin vibes, right, from episode one when he
Yep.
was doing the pod racing, and just
The
as a kid,
goggles, they
kind of
just
had that
get you.
look. The goggles. Um, and I do just want to say I hope that the Star Wars fandom has learned from their mistakes on how we treat. I hate to say we, but I'm part of Star Wars fandom, even though I don't participate in the negativity. Um, I hope we as a fandom have learned our lesson in how we treat actors.
Mm.
Um, Jake Lloyd, Kelly Marie Tran from The Last Jedi, and
I'm
Rise of Skywalker.
I'm just gonna assume that we
And I
have
hope we
not
treat
learned our
Jay Feely.
lesson.
Star Wars fandom is great. It's the best fandom, and I will 110% agree it is the worst fandom
Mm.
because I witness it on a daily basis. But I mean, in terms of love, I think We are the best. But yes, I hope we treat Jay Feely, no matter how he portrays Luke Skywalker, how his performance is. I hope we give him all the love and respect he deserves, because I can't imagine it's an easy task.
No,
I know
gosh,
I
that's
right now
terrifying
cannot portray a young Luke Skywalker. So I wish him all the best.
because you're older
What
than
was your
Mark
favorite
Hamill.
moment? That was my long answer to your question.
That's definitely one of my favorite parts of seeing young Luke pretending to fly a ship with the goggles on. It really hits you right in the feels. Um, but man, seeing the Inquisitors, that gets me excited.
Mm,
That gets me so excited because
yes.
I think it opens the door for some actually like interesting storylines um, with what we see with Obi-Wan and some storylines that are going to make sense too. Because I feel like he has a pretty big role there on Tatooine, right? And so if we're gonna get him off Tatooine, which I think is would have been the goal, like it has to be for a good
Mhm.
reason. And if you start to throw the Inquisitors around and you start to consider what they were doing at this time, I think it gives a good enough reason for Obi-Wan to leave the planet and to go do other things. So I'm excited to see them, that's for sure.
Like you said, it opens up so many possibilities, because I think we're gonna leave Tatooine at some point in the
Yep.
series. It looks like we got a shot of the ship goes into like some fortress in the water. I believe that is where the Inquisitors get trained by Kenobi. That is from the comics, so we're gonna see that. Um, I believe we're gonna get Vader's castle as well at some point, because if you look at that, there was a picture of Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader released recently, which had us freaking out. But if you
Hmm.
actually look at that picture and look at images from Rogue One, it's the same room, it appears.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's a big, like where the back to tank is in Rogue One. So that's kind of a big deal. So I assume we'll go there back to. So that means we're going to go back to Mustafar in a series starring Ewan McGregor and Hayden
Mm.
Christensen.
Yep.
This is wild. Do you?
Do you
So
think we're gonna
we.
see unmasked Darth Vader, like Hayden Christensen, his actual
Oh man,
face,
I
like maybe a
so I've
scene where they're
heard the.
putting the helmet on or something?
Oh,
I know
man, you can't do this to me. So I've heard we're gonna get de-aged Hayden Christensen. I've
for
heard
like a
that.
flashback,
So I'm assuming clone. And maybe I'm just making this up in my head because there's so much going on with this
right? Right.
trailer and theories, but I feel like we're. I thought I heard we're gonna get Clone Wars flashbacks.
Mm.
So it means like we're gonna take the most successful animated series Star Wars has ever done, and you're gonna. So are you like? Do you think like we're gonna get like Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen in the armor from Clone Wars?
Oh man, yeah.
Or can I top? Let me top that theory.
Okay, okay.
Are we gonna get a flashback where Ahsoka is with him?
We really might.
Like,
It's absolutely possible.
moments like these where like we're off the cuff talking to
Uh
each
huh.
other. Are moments I wish we just weren't recording with a video, because it's hard to contain myself
It
right
is. It's
now.
hard to contain and it's hard to like
Um,
keep things formulated. But okay, so let's think about it. If they're gonna show Obi-Wan flashbacks, like what's the reason? Like what are we getting from it? And I imagine
okay,
it's for the
so there's
emotion,
a
right?
scene. Oh, 100%. This show was purely intended to make grown men cry. You will not convince me otherwise.
Yes, that
This
is the goal.
complete. This is not to have a deeper story or to add more content. This someone sat in the offices in a very expensive building in a very expensive suit and said, "How do I make a man cry?" And this is how. This is how. So, and they're gonna, it's like mission accomplished, because it almost happened with this 90-second trailer. They could release just like the four more variations of this, and it will work. But there's a scene from the comics where I believe Kenobi and Anakin are like around a fire.
Hmm.
Or no, it's not. It's not the comics. It's I think it's from Battle. I don't know what it's from. Forgive me. I don't play the video games. Um, maybe it's from Battlefront. It's from something. Maybe it was fan made. I have no idea. Many of you probably know what I'm talking about. But where they're sitting around a fire. They're kind of blabbing back and forth. But I hope we get something like that. Even if
Mm.
the series like started out like that, and so that would be a flashback, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe Kenobi is just by the fire, thinking about everything that happened, so he does like a flashback
There you go.
of
There you
like
go.
the better
Yeah.
times. Um, there was a lot of flack for like Hayden Christensen's portrayal, obviously, or his acting, I should say, right?
Right.
And I almost wonder if Dave Filoni and Deborah Chow, if they're gonna kind of like give us flashback scenes with them and try to like convey more emotion
Right,
almost.
right.
Not that it wasn't
Yeah.
there, because for me it was always there, but
Mhm.
like because I think Hayden Christensen's a fine actor. Like I love the movies I've seen him in. I have no issue. To me, it was completely the dialogue in the prequels, and
Yeah, it
that's a
was
whole other
bad.
conversation.
Yeah.
Um, but like, I think they should just make the whole first season flashbacks. I'd be fine.
So you think we're gonna get more than one season then?
So this is known as a limited series, but like, if Ewan McGregor's down, why not?
Yeah, it's fair. It's
I
fair.
mean, the Inquisitors, like you mentioned, that opens up so many doors. I mean, they write all the way up to like pretty much A New Hope almost
Yep.
in Rebels, right? So I don't see why not. It seems like Ewan has had a fantastic time filming this. Maybe not Vader again in the. I don't like I said, I don't know how the story is gonna go, but maybe not Vader again. But you could do some Maul stuff.
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
there was the rumor that he was gonna be in it, but then was cut for Vader. But like,
Mhm.
why not
Yeah.
do Maul stuff in season two? Maul's still out there looking for Kenobi. I know
Mhm.
we got a nice wrap up to his story in Rebels,
Mhm. It'd be
but
kind of cool to get that
I mean, we
scene
thought
um in live action.
the final duel.
Mhm. Well, if you call it that, but yeah.
Yeah, that would. I will say that was probably one of the biggest like letdowns, like expectation wise in Star Wars.
Really? Did
Um,
you think so?
like I think as a duel, I respect it so much. I think the way it went, it was done perfectly. Because I think like realistically, like Kenobi was very level headed. Maul was all rage. He wasn't thinking
Mhm.
the way it happened.
Right.
Boom, boom, made sense. But like we expected Maul, like literally, like the pictures you see, like where they're about to fight. I'm pretty sure those pictures last longer than the fight.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like I don't know, like expectation wise, it was just it let down. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm still like kind of focused on the Ahsoka thing that we just talked
Yeah,
about. Like
no.
I cannot
So
imagine.
because it would be
I'm
young
really
Ahsoka, so it wouldn't be the same actress. They would
it
have
would
to
be
get
young
somebody
Ahsoka.
else.
So
Would
nope.
they get?
Could you do
I
Ashley
was gonna say,
Eckstein?
can you get Ashley Eckstein because she's smaller, right?
And like the voice change,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're like, oh, her voice is so much different than Rosario Dawson. Okay, well you can just say it's because it's 30 years
Yeah,
difference.
it's a huge time, a
It's
big
easy
big
write
time
off.
difference. Yeah,
Easy
yeah,
write off. Like, but like Ashley Eckstein, I feel like she's got the height probably. I think she's a little. I don't know how tall she is, but I think it would probably be good for young
yeah.
Ahsoka. I would imagine.
And obviously she has the
Like,
voice because it's her voice.
why not,
That'd be sweet.
dude? This is like going back to the whole Spider-Man conversation months ago, where I'm like, no matter how bad the scene or the movie is, if you have all three of them on screen together, it will
Yep.
be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot do wrong. And I'm kind of thinking the same thing with this. If you have all three of them, Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, and like let's just say it's Ashley Eckstein as all those characters in a scene,
Right. Right. Hmm. Yeah.
it can't happen though. We've
Mm.
already gotten the Batman and Spider-Man No Way Home in the last like 3 months. There's no way that happens too. There's no
Yeah.
way.
I don't. I don't know that it will. I think the flashbacks we're gonna get are like moments where Obi-Wan saw, like, where he was like, "Oh shoot, Anakin might go to the dark side." It's gonna be the moments where he like saw it but ignored it. You know what I mean? Like he sees the
Ooh.
anger, he sees that
Oh,
emotion come out of Anakin, but he ignores it because he loves him and he doesn't want to. He doesn't. It's like almost like he doesn't want to call attention to it and make it worse.
he because it's they I feel like they made it, I won't say obviously clear, but like decently clear in like the Clone Wars especially, that like he's not stupid and he does see
Yeah,
things
yeah, yeah.
and doesn't say things, right?
Right.
I almost wonder, there was an extended scene, right, from episode 3. I think that was filmed. I think the whole thing was filmed, where this whole dialogue where Obi-Wan says to Padme like, "I'm not stupid. Like I I know Anakin's like the father. Um I know you guys have been together for all these years." Like some kind of dialogue along those
Mhm.
lines, right? What if we get that scene?
That'd be sweet. It'd be awesome.
Because because like you said, if we see things where he's ignoring it, like that would be a perfect scene to throw in there,
Yep.
that kind of, and that's actually, I love that,
Right?
because you can throw those in
Uh-huh.
sporadically throughout the
Mhm.
series, like more guilt because he knew and didn't do
Yeah, and
anything.
it just kinda builds up. I wonder if we're gonna get, like, a couple or if it's gonna be a an ongoing thing throughout the series. Because I feel like it'd be really cool to just do them, like, 3 an episode for the whole thing, you know?
And this is a limited series; it's 6 episodes, but I'm just gonna pretend before it actually comes out that each episode's like an hour and a half.
That's what I'm gonna tell myself
Like
too.
it has to be, right. I mean, even at like 50 minutes an episode, that's like 2 3 movies
Exactly,
worth of
exactly.
content, which is awesome. But it's not gonna be enough. I'm being selfish and
I
childish right
haven't
now, but
been
like it's not enough. I
I
can
have
tell you
not
that.
been as excited about a Star Wars product since Last Jedi, maybe? Which is, terrifying.
And then afterwards, everything was, you're like, never mind. I should hold no expectations for anything.
But, I mean, w how long have we been waiting for an
No,
Obi-Wan
I do
show?
remember the Last Jedi build up. And that's the crazy thing is like it was rumored for so long, but I just like like I guess like I think accepted that it
I
was
did
never
too.
gonna happen.
I stopped because it had been rumored for so long, and it had come up so many times. I feel like it came up, like Force Awakens time period of Disney, like, before Disney Plus was a thing. I felt like we were hearing about the
Oh
Obi-Wan
yeah.
show or the Obi-Wan movie because that's what it was. It was the, like, Rogue One and they made the Solo movie, like, it was like, "Oh, they're gonna make an Obi-Wan movie," and it's like, "Oh boy," and then nothing ever happened, and now we're here, and it's just like, "Oh, it's, like, actually happening." Like, they made a real trailer. It's, like, ready to go. It's coming out in 2 months,
And
and I am so
the
excited.
trailer is what
Mhm.
gets me. I've seen pictures of Ewan on set. Like obviously he's all like
Right,
covered
right.
up. They've been really good about Disney, and Disney in general has been so good like the last 2 years
Well, it's because they just
on
own all their
movies and
stuff, you know what I
shows
mean?
about
It's
covering
probably I
things
assume
up.
that's what it is. It's
Yeah. And they've just been good about hiding things and
yeah.
not letting anything leak though. I'm assuming like their NDAs are really
Mhm.
threatening. That's
Yeah.
my assumption. Like we will literally own everything you own if you do anything. Um but yeah, I once we got this trailer, I was blown away. And okay, second favorite
Mhm,
scene,
mhm.
right? Second favorite clip from the trailer, when the Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor, pulled out his lightsaber and it started
Oh,
spinning.
man.
Oh my
I love that
gosh!
they kept it.
I thought they were so cheesy in Rebels, but it's so
Uh-huh.
cool. I love
I
it.
love that they kept it because you're right, it was this kinda, like, cheesy, like, "Okay, that's a cartoon, yeah, they can get away with stuff like this," but they're like, "Nope, that's how it works," and it's
No,
actually
it
happening.
spins. Uh, There's a lot of people online, like a lot of people that are like, "Oh my god, do not give us the helicopter lightsaber!" Like, because we see they actually use it as a
Mhm. Yep.
helicopter in a few episodes. But I'm like, like, I'm all
Like,
for
who
it.
cares?
Show
Why not?
someone fly away on a lightsaber. You're telling me a story about space wizards with laser swords. I'm okay if they fly away on their lightsaber. I can accept that mentally. Like, I don't know
Oh, man. And I think it fits because
if it.
what do we know about the Inquisitors? And you and I have kinda gone back and forth on this, but I don't think they're, like, the most, like, intimidating, powerful, competent of, like, Sith lords, right? Like, this is not Darth Maul. This is not a anywhere close to a villain like that. These they're these, like, little minions, that like kind of get trained to do some stuff. Um, and so what how do they compensate for like, oh, they're not as good as a normal Jedi? They give them a blade that spins like a helicopter.
First off, first off, if you're gonna talk in general about the Inquisitors, I agree with you. Not the Grand Inquisitor. He was a temple guard,
Okay,
bro.
maybe the grand, maybe one
Like
of them
that's.
is, but Kanan kills him still, right?
I think he's legit.
Okay, maybe he is.
He's like legitimately terrifying in
He is. He is
Rebels.
pretty scary.
Like, right? Why they didn't get Jason Isaacs to play him? Whatever. I'm not in charge of casting. No, you're right. You're right. Like
But
they're not.
the minion,
They're still force
they are,
sensitive.
but like I think, and it's on purpose, right? Because think of how the Sith Lords function. They are not going to be
True.
that powerful. Vader would only let them be so competent, because if they start to get too powerful, he has to worry about them as a threat, and he doesn't want to have to do that. So they're like semi useful. But I think that creates an interesting wrinkle if Obi-Wan goes and fights one, because I don't like look at what Obi-Wan did to Darth Maul. I think it would be a similar thing to one of these
You know what I want
Inquisitors.
to see? I want to see the post credit scene is Thanos, and the door opens up and you see the Infinity Gauntlet, and he goes does that, and he goes, "Fine, I'll do it myself." Can I just get like that, but in Star
Mm.
Wars, of like a door opening and like Vader grabbing his like lightsaber or like something, and like him just saying the same thing, like
Uh-huh.
James Earl Jones. All you hear is, "Fine, I'll do it myself." You can't do obviously James Earl Jones, but like, could you imagine
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Because maybe like clear at least two of these Inquisitors in the show will not die. The
Yep.
fifth brother and the Grand Inquisitor, because they go on to do other stuff. We know
Mhm,
that for a
mhm.
fact. The other two that we see, or the other three we see, I don't know. But like maybe those three just get knocked out, and then Vader's just like, "Oh my god,
Oh, man.
I'll do it myself." Do you think we'll see the Emperor?
That's a great question. Probably. I
We
would
have
think
to,
so.
right?
Like, why wouldn't they show him? Unless they just didn't want to pay for Ian McDermott, but
Disney, bro,
exactly, that's the
Disney.
thing. They probably own him anyway.
Remember who's
Yeah,
right
yeah.
signing the check. They
No,
probably
I
do.
think that,
They probably did, which is not Mark
yeah, yeah,
Hamill.
yeah. I would not be
It's Steve McDermott, which is Steve
I would
McDermott.
not be surprised in the slightest bit if he shows up a time or two. I don't think he'll have a big role. Um, but if we get little clips, or even like a hologram of him, like they do that every once in a while, like I could totally see that happening.
Yes, something like that.
That
How much Vader do you think we're gonna get?
how much Vader?
How much Vader? I think they should use him
Mm-hmm.
sparingly because of
Mm-hmm.
it's Vader, but
I bet he shows up
like
in 3 episodes, and the last one he'll be in it
okay.
for a good chunk of that episode, because that
I think episode 4 will just be
they have to
go
end this
ahead. Go ahead.
show in a fight with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, right?
Let's theorize on that for a second. Because I want to preface this like the rest of this conversation with like Steven and I really have not sat
We
down
have
and talked
not.
about
No,
these
we really
things in
haven't.
the last like week and a half. Life has been very
Mm-hmm,
busy.
mm-hmm.
We have not. Um, where does their fight take place?
That
You don't think it's on
No, I don't think
Mustafar
they'll
again,
do
do
that,
you?
and it won't be Tatooine.
But it's I don't. It's not going to be
So probably just
Tatooine.
some random place that we don't.
You think like Coruscant?
No, well, maybe. Does
That'd
he?
be.
Would they have a reason? My thing is I don't. It's just going to be wherever they cross paths, probably.
This is really actually hard to
Hmm.
theorize now that
Yeah,
I start to
we just
break it
don't
down
know
because
enough.
I think it's
You think
Mustafar.
so? So you think Obi-Wan goes to
I
Mustafar
do.
though?
I think Obi-Wan starts going after the
I don't think
Inquisitors.
he will.
Maybe
See,
I don't
here's what I
know.
think.
So so
I think Obi-Wan is fully committed to protecting Luke, right? And he's not gonna
So he's not
do
going to leave him,
things.
but he
He
does leave.
will, but I don't. I think it's gonna like I said earlier. I think it's gonna take a lot to get him to. So I think what he'll leave for is to go protect. Like he hears about Vader and the Inquisitors chasing after some young Force sensitive child or something, and he goes to protect that
Uh
person
huh.
or something like that because that's what they're doing, right? That's what the Inquisitors are doing at this point. They're hunting down Force sensitive and Jedi people.
Right.
So,
Yep.
um, but I don't think Obi-Wan would go chasing after Vader because that puts everything in jeopardy.
Yeah, I don't.
So I think Vader is chasing after Obi-Wan.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute though. Wait a
Mhm.
minute
Mhm.
though. Do we have this series will answer this question, but I'm gonna ask you right now. Does Obi-Wan know that Darth Vader is Anakin?
Yes, because they hear the name. So remember Obi-Wan and Yoda watching the like the like security
Oh,
recordings.
he
Yep,
says
and he says
Rise
Rise
Lord
Lord Vader.
Vader.
So he would know the name. And
Yes, you're right.
it would be
You're
pretty
right.
obvious, I feel like.
Dude, like Tarkin didn't know. I don't think for the
Right,
longest
but
time,
did
if
Tarkin
ever.
really
And he worked with Anakin during the
yeah.
Republic. He worked with
Yeah,
Anakin during the Clone
like
Wars.
this is
Like he
Obi-Wan
was in show. I
though.
don't.
So I think and remember Yoda
Yeah,
knows too.
that's
Like
true.
Yoda's aware when he talks to Luke. I think it's known. And Ahsoka knows
Yeah.
too.
No, no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She doesn't know until Rebels, till she fights him.
I thought she did know it was him though.
She doesn't know until she because the whole time like they're like almost side by side a few times, and there's those inklings where like Ahsoka like gets those like that familiar
Mhm.
feeling. You could see it in her face. But when she fights him, she like I think when she cracks his helmet
Mm.
open is when she sees him for the first time, and that's when she starts to make the like she makes the
Oh.
comment. Like she doesn't like do a big revelation like oh my god, but she's like that's when
Like
she like
confirms it
realizes
kind of
it.
thing. Hmm.
Uh
Okay.
huh. Because there's a whole lead up in Rebels where like yeah,
Okay.
Ahsoka
Okay.
doesn't
But
know.
anyway, Obi-Wan definitely does.
Yeah, I think Obi
And
Wan
so
definitely knows.
I think they
And this
cross
is probably
paths
the
because Vader comes looking for Obi-Wan, not the opposite.
you don't. But do you even think Vader
Yes.
goes looking for Obi
He
Wan?
absolutely would. Who's his
Dude,
biggest
that's so
threat?
heartbreaking.
Who is the only person that he would see as a threat? He
That
doesn't
would
see
be Obi Wan,
Palpatine as a threat.
and he doesn't know about Luke. He will not find out about Luke at all because he
Yep.
doesn't learn until Empire Strikes Back,
Exactly. Exactly.
right? So
So that's what
this is wild. I literally, and that's one of the
I was gonna
best.
say. That's why I don't think
Go ahead. Go ahead.
they connect on Tatooine because he'd be like, "Why are you
I don't
here?
think Anakin goes
Why are
back
you on
there.
Tatooine?" Like,
You
I
little
really
sly
like
dog, you.
sand. He'd be like, "Well, I know you don't like sand, so I didn't think you'd come back."
It'd be wild. Like at the end of the first episode, like we're learning about the Inquisitors the whole first episode because this is like a 3 hour episode, obviously, like they all are gonna be. And so like the like maybe we learn about the Inquisitors, and maybe the end of the first episode is like we like pan to this planet. Let's just say it's Kashyyyk. It's a planet we're familiar with. We know Chewie's not on Kashyyyk, I assume at this point, or who knows what he's doing. But let's assume it's Kashyyyk, and it's just like it's burning and like it's in ruins. Like so, kind of picture the first planet from Rise
Mm-hmm.
of Skywalker. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's in ruins, which was Mustafar, but it's in ruins. Blah blah blah. And then it kind of pans to Vader. We see Vader, and like we get this somehow. They tell us or exposition, however they want to do it, tells us that Vader literally just rampaged this planet looking for Obi-Wan because that is his
Mm.
one goal. He's just
Mm-hmm.
annihilating planets one by one, like just on his own.
Oh man.
And I'm like, I don't know, because Hayden Christensen did say we're going
Yeah.
to see a
Well, I
very
think you
powerful
have to. You
Vader.
have to.
Like, what does that mean? Like, I'm assuming he saw the end of Rogue One. That
Mm-hmm.
is top notch to me.
I
I'm
think so
assuming
too.
he means more than that, which I don't know what to expect. And I just like, I know this is a Disney show and this is Disney Plus, and Star Wars is made for kids, but like, can we see more Vader just slicing through people like on
I
walls
think we're
again, like
going
in Rogue
to.
One?
I think it's gonna. I think there's gonna be some pretty
This trailer
brutal
literally.
Vader scenes.
Okay, okay. I do want to. I do want to. I wanted to. This wasn't the original show notes that I lost. Dave Filoni and just in Disney in general, Lucasfilm has done a great job at saying, "Hey, I see you. You're sitting there watching the show, eating your popcorn. I don't see a tear down your face. So here's Order 66 again,
Yeah. Yeah.
which works. I know it works, but
Here's Order 66 again.
um, do we
Yeah,
see it again?
absolutely.
We
We'll
see it
see. We'll
again,
see a
right?
flashback from Order 66. I just don't know.
Oh my gosh! And we're gonna see stormtroopers and clone troopers. Are we gonna get a series with stormtroopers and clone troopers
Whoa.
live action? What's gonna
Yeah.
happen? Because we know stormtroopers are on the set
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for a
And that
fact.
that which makes sense, but um
Oh, dude.
I'm trying to think of like what kind of flashback we
Oh
would
my
get
god.
though,
In the
because
trailer, actually.
with Obi-Wan in Order 66, like he wasn't
He
he was
wasn't
he wasn't
there.
really around. And I
Like,
feel like we see
well,
his primary interactions with it in episode 3. So they're not going to do a flashback of anything that happened in episode 3 because
well,
then that would be weird.
unless we get Cody again. Tamora
Sure,
Morrison could be
sure,
in
sure,
this
sure,
show
sure.
as
Mhm.
like Commander Cody. Maybe we see their interactions. I feel like they've done their like Disney Plus has done a good job recently of like tying up things or adding more depth to things to make other things more like
Mhm.
connect, like more emotional or more like meaning. So like, obviously Commander Cody, he says fire away at Kenobi in episode 3. Maybe we get some like dialogue between them
Mhm.
in a flashback. Like maybe Cody's telling them about little Cody,
Yeah, yeah.
and Obi-Wan's telling them some personal secrets, how like he's in love with Padme. Like I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe we get that emotional connection. I'm just kidding, but no, I don't know. I'm just here. Like if I'm gonna be frank, if I'm gonna be frank with you and not Tyler for a second, like I am here for the Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor stuff all day, mainly. Like this show or this movie came out when we were like 10 years old. 10 years old. And it's just a rush of emotion, and it's everything I could want in
I'm
in,
I'm
in the
just so
trailer so far.
excited.
I don't know. It's hard to talk about.
Mhm.
It's hard to talk about because I don't know what to like. I have
Yeah.
so much to say, but so little to say.
Man, I
Like
wonder,
I'm almost
I
speechless.
just kind of I wonder how many like ties they're going to try and do with this show too. I feel like there's definitely some loose connections when you go from like prequels to Force Awakens. I could see them trying to
Yeah.
connect some of that stuff as well, for sure.
Is your
I'm
wife
thinking
is
about
that
Rey
maybe?
finding the lightsaber.
Okay. That why we were never given an
Mm-hmm.
answer to that bothers me still to this day.
Yeah,
Like
it
they
is a
should have just
weird
cut that
scene, but
scene.
like,
I don't know why it
and,
wasn't.
and I'm remembering it correctly. It's Anakin's lightsaber she finds, right? And we know
Yeah,
that Anakin's lightsaber
that's yep.
is with Obi-Wan at the end of episode 3 because he picks it up from Mustafar.
And we and we assume that it's
Mm-hmm.
the one in the trailer.
Yeah.
So yeah, because he gives it to Luke in episode 4. So well,
Oh, that's right.
Luke
That's right.
loses it in
That's right.
episode 5. We know that.
I'm getting my timelines mixed
That's
up.
so. Which, wait. Oh, never mind. Right. It. Sorry. I always forget that that's Ray's lightsaber later
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because it's not. But whatever. We keep
But
a
anyway,
positive head on.
I just think there are things that they could
Anyway,
address and get to. I wonder if we'll see Thrawn.
I said the same thing to Daniel actually recently. He doesn't think so, but and I'm not familiar with like the Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've
I
not
read
read
the
the books.
first
I
one.
know I'm
Yeah.
behind. I know I need to because I know they're amazing. But like he's still with the
Should be. Yeah.
Empire during this
Mm-hmm.
time, right? Because in Rebels he's with the Empire. So this is before Rebels. He should be with the Empire. There's why would we not? I
Yeah.
mean, it would
Yeah.
be okay, I guess, to see him. I should say. Like there's
I could see
nothing
them
saying
not
oh you
doing it
can't.
because they're waiting to drop that to reveal that with Ahsoka.
Probably with Ahsoka.
Huh. That'd be interesting. I don't know. Not sure what to think.
Like I mentioned this too. I don't know if I mentioned this to you. Like, do we see a young
That'd be
Caleb
sweet.
Doom
Yeah.
like Kanan Jarrus
How? Because he would be
somewhere? Is that who they're hunting?
probably 20-ish. Well,
Well, he was what? Yeah, he'd probably be about
maybe
20
a
ish.
little
You're
older
right.
than that. But
This is 10 years after.
how?
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, the
Uh
perfect
huh.
age to hunt a Jedi. like, like, yeah, because like if we're taking inventory of the
It's not
Jedi
that
around
many.
right now that we know of, what is there? Cal Kestis, Ahsoka,
Mm-hmm.
Kanan, Ezra,
Yeah.
but obviously no one knows yet. Ahsoka,
Obi-Wan and
no one
Yoda.
knows she's around technically. Yoda, Obi-Wan and Yoda, right? So I mean, like maybe it's Cal Kestis from the
Mm-hmm.
battle or from
Right.
the video game, right? Maybe it's him.
Yeah.
I don't know
Uh huh.
because he would be around that age right now.
I wonder when
I
Kanan and Hera actually meet up and what that whole origin is like. You know.
sorry, I'm googling. They meet on planet Gorse 6 years prior to the events of Rebels.
Right now.
So
That would be like right at this time period.
right now, well, this would be like 9 years before.
Okay.
So I guess we're a little early because it's I think 9 years or 10 years between the 3 and 4, or it's 20 years. I'm sorry, 19 or 20 years. So this will be 10 from episode 3. I
Okay.
think
Okay.
Rebels is 4 years before.
But is
So
there
it's
is
probably a
there like a
little early.
rebellion at this
But I
point?
mean, yeah, I think there is because
Bail.
what's his name
Yeah. So maybe
starts
we'll
leading
see
it.
that. We'll see
Bale.
the birth of the rebellion.
Well, I guess, and that's the one of the main storylines is we're
Mm-hmm.
going to see young Leia in this as well. Um, Declaration of the Rebellion, the Alliance to restore the Republic, 2 BBY to 4 BBY. Oh, so maybe it's not around. You know what? I apologize to all the Star Wars fans out there. We're kind of just jumping everywhere. Our minds are everywhere with this trailer going on. But now that I think about it, is it not kind of implied that the Ghost crew is kind of the beginning of the rebellion too
Say that again.
in Rebels?
Sorry. Say that again.
Like I think it's already forming. So it's already
Mm-hmm.
forming with Bale and them, but then I think like the Ghost crew
Yeah.
with like Kanan, Hera, and all them, they're kind of like a big
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
spark in it as well, like where they're kind of on their own doing these missions, causing
Yeah.
chaos, and then they meet up, obviously. But I don't think the rebellion
Okay.
really did anything.
Maybe it wasn't like
Like I don't know.
formally
Like
organized
I
and put
think there's like
together yet, but
factions
hmm.
because like Saw
Oh, yep.
Gerrera's group is
Yep.
out there doing like guerrilla stuff. Like they're kind of just on their own doing stuff. Interesting.
Super
Huh.
interesting. I think we'll see. I kind
There's
of
so
hope
much to
it's almost a
theorize.
Rebel style, like he just bounces around to a bunch of different places and we just get like Mando style where every episode is a little different, but it kind of ties all together at the end. I think that
Yeah.
would be cool just to like cover, like, let's cover a bunch of different things. Let's see a bunch of people. Let's see places. Um,
Yeah.
and then Darth Vader's just like trying to chase him down, you know?
Oh, dude, I can't. The
Hmm.
breath at the end of the trailer.
I
Oh my
cannot
god.
wait to see what Hayden Christensen does because I want to see him just like knock it out of the park and then everyone has to be like, sorry.
So you mean Andrew
Yes,
Garfield
yes.
it? Um, I love that his name is just a verb for so many things right now. It's
Oh
just
man.
it's my favorite thing all year.
Yep.
One last thing I want to touch on before we get out of here and get all of you back to your Christmas shopping. Got your attention. It's not Christmas time. No, one more thing I want to touch on. I threw this theory out to you, and I want to
Hmm.
throw this theory
Hmm.
out to everyone else. But this is a big one, and it could be possible. We see a new Inquisitor
Yes, this
named Reva,
theory. Yep.
Reva, whatever you want to call her. Yes, this theory. Every Inquisitor has a name. A Grand Inquisitor, the fifth brother, the seventh sister, the third sister. Like they're all numbered, and they're all brothers and sisters. And there's this group, there's this coalition. They've left behind the Jedi Order or anything of that nature, and they have one common goal. And like they're just this group, one thing. Okay, well, we don't have a name for this Inquisitor yet. She's obviously some kind of a sister. We don't know if she's like the second, the fourth, the fifth, whatever, eighth, whatever. But she's named Riva. Like we got that. I've never, uh, to my knowledge, I don't remember a name of
Mm-mm.
any
Nope.
Inquisitor, even the Grand Inquisitor. I don't remember his name. That might have been given, but I don't remember it. Cool. Why was she given a name? Because she's clearly got a red lightsaber. She's some kind of Inquisitor. She's dressed like them. She's hunting. She's choking people. Like something is going on. She's hunting someone. She's Inquisitor. Her name is Reva. Reva. What happens if you add one letter to the end of this name? And the letter I'm thinking of in particular is the letter N.
Can I buy a vowel? It
What does
spells
that spell, Stephen?
Revan,
Can I
doesn't
buy
it?
a vowel? It indeed does spell Revan. And Revan is a very
Mm-hmm.
very fan beloved character in Star Wars lore,
Yep.
non-canonical up to this point, but beloved nonetheless. Everyone's been waiting to see the live action version of Darth Revan. Um, and I mean, Marvel's proven to do it, that they kind of put spins on characters that we know and love and make it work. Who's to say they're not starting to do it now? I mean, you can even say they did it with Jason Solo
Mm-hmm.
and Kylo Ren. And, I think it worked for what it
Yeah.
was, regardless of the story. And why not reveal this person to be Revan, this girl to be Revan?
Good.
It could work. Um, Maybe we get some plot twist where there's this Jedi going around wielding two lightsabers on Tatooine, and it's really her, but they don't know that she's this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
There's just so many places you could go with this theory, but who's to say? And then it leads up to at the very end, like Revan will return. Boom.
That's a
No one
good
knew we were
point.
getting a
Yeah.
Boba Fett show until after the finale of
Mm-hmm.
Mandalorian. Like
Yep.
literally, there was nothing announced. Nothing. Boom. Who's to say? I mean, some people are to say they were there, but
What if we had a Darth Vader show?
I don't know. Stop. These are the kind of things that get you fired from shows
But
like
like
this.
really though. Okay. Just
Don't give me hope.
think about it. Because you know who's really busy at this time
No,
in Star Wars
no.
history? Yeah. He's
Darth
got a lot
Vader.
going on.
You know who's not really busy in real life? Hayden
Yes.
Christensen,
Fair point.
as far as I know.
Oh man.
Perfect marriage right
I'm gonna
here.
go to bed tonight having dreams about a Darth Vader
Oh
show
my
where
goodness.
he's just wrecking fools for like 8 episodes
Just don't
straight.
like wait. Just don't like wake up in the middle of the sleepwalk like with your like Darth Vader lightsaber like around the house like.
Oh man,
Oh man, this I just I think we might
we
have to
might
have a
have
whole
to.
other
There's
Kenobi
so much to
conversation
talk
next
about.
week. Like we're gonna try. We're a pop culture show, so we try to cover everything. There was a Ms. Marvel trailer that
No,
we unfortunately will not have time for today to talk about, but hopefully we can talk about that next week. Yeah, the Kenobi trailer eats the Ms. Marvel trailers for breakfast. Those kind of
listen,
trailers for
I've been
breakfast. Like
waiting for all of my adult life for an
that's
Obi-Wan
all I'll say
show,
about
and I have no idea who Miss Marvel is. So that's about where we're at on this.
that. All I'll say is it gave me flashbacks to Captain Marvel. I'm not gonna say much more
All
than
right. And with that note,
that. But yes. On that note, we will get out of here. Yeah, more Kenobi in the future. Till next time, may the Force be with you, and we'll see
see you guys.
you later.